What's up, Tainteriffers, and all 17 people who will watch this stream? This is the TaintCast.
Pause.
Hey, I just got to tell y'all something real quick.
To the sea, booty juices, man.
Booty juices, real.
I got a lot of butt
Pause.
meat. It's gonna long way to my internal.
It's about to be something goofy. I swear it is. Pause. I'm just gonna say it ahead of time now. Pause.
you can't do it ahead of time. That means you knew you was gonna say some stuff that needed to be paused.
Nah, you was gonna say something else and be paused.
The word of today is pause.
Yeah, pause. You can't say no
Definition.
homo because you'll offend the gays.
Definition is a noun. Use it in a sentence when one of your homeboys says something of the
Suspect.
letter people.
July 24th.
Pause.
Well, all right. How's everybody been?
Good. Ugh, been hanging with the alphabet boys.
What's the alphabet boys?
It was funny because he had just said the letter people. I thought that was funny.
The LG barbecue.
The lettuce, tomato, bacon.
I love the gays, by the way. Don't let these, me saying this fool you. I love Adam and Steve. Pause.
You love Adam and Steve, bro. Chill.
I mean, maybe he just wanted to see where they coming from. Pause.
Oh, chill.
Oh no. You know what, Joe? That was a good one. That was a good one. You got me. All right, so they got that second win. How's everybody been? Why don't we all update? Tell the people what we're all working on creatively. Let's start with Joe.
Well, right now, I'm not working on my own project. I'm working with my boy Yemen up top of here with the Eyes production. It's gonna be a real good one. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets and come support. And this is a local black artist that's showcasing his talents. And I'm telling y'all, it's not gonna be something y'all want to miss.
All right.
I do not want the dick.
All right, let's go.
Hey, chill.
Bravado.
They know he was getting
Yeah.
a surprise entrance from Trump today. You get him out of here.
What?
We love the alphabet people. We hate Trump though.
Oh,
Yeah, facts.
Fuck that nigga.
Speaking of which, this is a great segue for what we got going on. My newest mixtape, Fuck Ice, dropped a month ago. Go check that out. Music videos, songs for days. Everybody, it's the hardest tape. So what do I got going on next? I've been performing for this little club down here. I'm in Richmond, Virginia, to the Detroit folks. Or anybody new watching the podcast, let's start from the top, actually. Welcome to TaintCast. Joe, what's up? I'm Bravado. How's it going?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, Joe's
What's
a new
going
guy.
on? Joe, you are new to the TaintCast. We've been doing this a couple years, so there's some people know us. They know what we do.
Man, I'm just bringing my originality. That's all.
That's what's up. I like that.
If you
Pause.
don't like dark humor, get out of here. Nothing playing.
You said you like that.
No, I didn't. I like dark humor. Pause.
What?
There's humor. They like it dark. Pause. All right. Back to what I was saying. New mixtape just dropped. On YouTube is all the songs. Some songs are on streaming. You know how I do. I like the pepper and everything. Fuck Ice is out. New music video, you can tell, is out. New reel on Instagram for the song Rage is out. I'm performing next Friday at Caribbean on Wheels down here in Richmond, Virginia. come pop. You know how we do. Your boy Bravado's all over the 804 area, and I don't know. Next time I'll be in Detroit. Can't tell
What's
you.
up?
Whenever this play comes out, because I'm gonna come see it.
Yeah. Give a round of applause up for my boy Bravado Morales. He really doing the damn thing. The only thing I'm able to do is this damn show. But that's probably my own fault because I decided to have 3 kids. So
True.
here we are. But yeah, hi, I'm Yinmin. You know, I'm not really known as Yinmin yet, but you know, the tide will change soon enough. Oh, we
I know
lost
you
Joe.
were saying, man.
We
What about
lost
Joe?
Another one bites the dust. But yeah, I mean, I've mainly just been working on my show. Been producing a lot for it. Basically, I don't think I really talked about it on the pod, have I?
What you been doing?
Yeah, my musical.
You did last time. Did we go live last time? I don't know. Let them remind them. That's what Joe was just talking about.
It's a modern adaptation of the Wizard of Oz story. It's set in the modern day, so the Scarecrow is the villain, and it's basically just, you know, simple story. Two dudes from Detroit are tasked with killing the Scarecrow to return home. I mean, you can't get simpler than that. It's a tried and true formula, the Wizard of Oz story, but told in my own unique way with a Gen Z twist. So I'm excited.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Local black artists. What's up? Did Joe text you or did he just drop out?
He said he got a phone call.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask. I was like, damn, did I was like, we didn't really get started yet. I was hoping that it was just a phone call or something, because now that we've told you all what we're doing, we're busy with our lives. We all work full-time jobs and we still do stuff on the side. And hey, Aaron, you been hitting the gym?
Yes, I have.
You dig? And we be hitting the gym. So what is your excuse, listeners? Go get the bag. But I'm not for a grind culture. Like, it's funny because I grind. You would think on the outside looking in, I'm like for a grind culture, but I'm all like, fuck the man and shit. But like, I do grind for myself. Like, I go to work because I like to spend money for myself. I go to the gym because it's like one of my new addictions.
Wait. You're grinding and fucking
For my yeah.
You're fucking
Pause.
the man while grinding?
Yeah, I only like to grind for myself though, you dig?
I'm sorry. You go. Wait.
Fuck the man.
While grinding.
While grinding. Crazy on the doggy style backwards.
Grinding on the man. That's crazy. But yeah,
do a spin on it and a kickflip.
But yeah, that's who we are and what we do. Now let's get into what we planned on talking about.
Yo,
zero viewers.
Yes. No, you go first. I'm just excited to talk about what we're planning on talking about.
All right. So first on the docket, the NBA playoffs.
Right. Let's talk about Detroit. Let's just start there. Because Great season.
Keep going.
Let's start this conversation with, how do we feel about James Harden?
He ever since he went to Philly, talent
ain't been the same.
Yeah, Burst hasn't been there. Most of what he does is just rely on the refs to get him through the games now. It's actually really egregious what he
But
does.
it doesn't help him in the playoffs because the refs kind of swallow the whistle in the playoffs.
They do what?
Whoa,
You froze, John. Did he freeze in real life?
Could you hear anything I said when I was off screen?
No, but I
Oh,
can't.
I just said I wanted to say, I wanted to look something up real quick before I had said anything. Well, basically, I'm excited for Game 7, Pistons versus Cavaliers. This is the litmus test for the Pistons. Are the Pistons ready to be considered contenders for real, or do they need another season to step up? And I think the Cavaliers in the Game 7 is the perfect team to give them that test. Because if they win, who do they have to play? Is it
The Knicks.
Yeah.
Who they took the 6 games last year, and this year they beat them in the season series.
But playoff Knicks is something different. Madison Square Garden for the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's going to be a different monster. The Detroit's kind of a young team.
I'm gonna say this, bro. I believe in these guys. I've been watching this Pistons team since they drafted Cade, because I was a Bucks fan because I was living out of state and I wanted to basically do my own thing. So I was a Bucks fan up until 2020, and I was like, you know what? They didn't win in the bubble. Let me go back to my home team. Then they won next year, but I remain loyal to my home team. And when they drafted Cade, I was super excited. So even when they lost 28 games in a row, they were still capable of being this team. The only
they were close games.
Yeah, they were all close games, and the only thing that they were missing was a closer, because they would get it close in the fourth and not close the game.
Right.
So as soon as Cade grew into that closer, I think he's averaging the second most clutch points in the playoffs behind like Shea. Like,
is he?
I think so. Yeah. So since Cade grew into that closer role for them.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, what was that? Maybe my headphones, or if my headphones die, I would just switch to the other mode. It's no biggie.
But yeah, ever since and even last year, I mean, they should have won that series against the Knicks. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but there was a no call that should have been called a foul.
Yes, I do remember that last year.
Josh Hart literally pushed Tim Hardaway Jr. out of bounds.
Yeah, they even came and said after the game that was a missed call.
Yeah, and I mean, it was game 6, and then we would have had game 7, and who knows what would have happened if history had played out different. So I think the Pistons have been a great team really since 2024, and that's ironic to say because they lost 28 games in a row. But if you weren't watching those, people. A lot of people weren't actually watching the games. They just saw the losing racking up, and they made assumptions based on that.
Yeah, this is true.
But all they needed was a better coach. They needed the core guys to grow and mature together, and they needed to find out. Everybody needs to find out their niche, and I think that they've done that. So even if they don't win this year, which I actually said this before the season started, and I think I said it on TaintCast, so it might be on track record. I said that we were going to be the number 1 team in the East before the season started, and I said we were going to make the finals, and I said Cade would be a top 5 MVP candidate, if not win it.
He is a top 5 MVP candidate, and they have been they're the number 2 seed in the East.
They're the number 1 seed.
Are they number 1? So we know you got Detroit winning Game 7. I'm going to say this about Game 7, and we'll got to talk about the rest of the NBA playoffs, not just Detroit basketball.
Yeah.
I am disappointed but not shocked by James Harden. James Harden passed Steph Curry for most playoff points in the playoffs during Game 6 of the playoffs, but James Harden don't even have a freaking NBA Finals appearance. Fuck a ring. Fuck a Finals MVP. Not NBA Finals.
Yep.
When did he go to the Finals?
2012.
Oh, OKC. Oh, my God. You know how irrelevant. I mean, he was the 3rd best player on the team. Don't get me wrong. But
I honestly think he was the best player on the team. But that's
right. But when he left that team, though, ever since, James Harden has been that guy. James Harden, when in 10 years, when we talk about great point guards, point guards, shooting guards, James Harden's going to be that guy. And he's got the playoff points, but he has no playoff accolades. He's got one finals appearance. He's got the finals where Chris Paul got hurt, where we all know if Chris Paul was 100%, he would have won that, but that is the sport. But the thing is yeah, but the thing is though, what also goes with his no accolades is that he's got the notion that he chokes in the playoffs, which the numbers kind of show that.
Yep.
He's not the James Harden that always scores 60 freaking points, but as soon as the playoffs come. And I don't know. I don't think the Cavs deserve to win Game 7 because Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, and everybody on that team do what they do. That team is a championship team if James Harden plays like James Harden can, but not playoff James Harden, regular James Harden. And I don't think James Harden gives a fuck enough. He doesn't want to be a great. He just wants to be rich.
I don't know. I don't like to pathologize these players a lot. I think all of these players come in wanting to win. It's just circumstances either allow or disallow that. Like, I kind of don't really respect the Cavs because I don't really respect when teams try to rush the process. When they try to, you know what I mean? When they try to like just trade for a star and get to contention. You know what I mean? You trade,
but they traded for a star who should be able to do it. They added him to a team they have Donovan Mitchell, another star. They got studs.
I think Donovan Mitchell is so overrated.
I know.
He is so overrated. And the only reason they're even in this series is because Donovan Mitchell learned from his boy James Harden how to
manipulate the whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
which is good.
I don't know if you've seen a lot of this, but when they cross him and Harden, they push off bad. Like they push guys' knees, they push guys all the way, like they stiff arm guys, like it's terrible. Them and Shea do that a lot. Brunson doesn't really do that as much. He more so likes to he's a little bit bigger, so he's a bit bigger of a body. So he likes to turn around and then initiate contact that way, like have his back to the basket. Which I think Brunson should be called for 5-second violations every time he does that. Because if you're counting,
you know what? I'm with you actually. If they would count, that's the thing is they don't really count that shit.
They don't count.
And then since it's Brunson, they're definitely not counting it because. Like I said, Madison Square Garden, Game 6, and you just call Jalen Brunson for 5 seconds in the paint. Oh my God, those referees aren't making it home.
They don't call Jalen Brunson when he for 5 seconds back to the basket. They don't call Shea when he does his push-offs. They just don't call it. They don't call Harden or Donovan Mitchell for flopping, which the NBA instituted an anti-flopping rule years ago. And I mean, I was at Game 2, humble brag, and there was a foul call that was so egregious. He basically went straight up, but then he did like this so that the dude would hit his arm. How are you going to shoot a layup if you're like this in midair?
Well, you can't fault them for that. That's just the rules they play in.
Yeah,
every player's been doing that.
He went from laying the ball up to going like this in midair with the ball, so that instead of
he could get contact.
Yeah, instead of hitting the ball, they would hit his arm. And it's like I mean, the ref shouldn't have called that because at that point he's initiating that contact. It's not like he made a basketball play and got fouled on the basketball play. Someone was making a good defensive play. And instead of kicking the ball back out or trying to maneuver in a way to adjust your shot, you just moved your arm so that it could get hit by the defender.
I don't really agree with you, bro. I would have to see that play. I wish you had it and could pull it up.
Yeah,
So
I should
I
look
could
better.
agree with you, but with the way I'm imagining it happened in my head, I think it was a basketball play. I think he bivvied the system. And
Yeah,
yeah, the some referees like a Scott Foster would have let especially in the playoffs, would have let them play through that and it would have been called probably a up and down or something. But
mhm.
the way the NBA was, and who did this? James Harden or
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell?
James
And then
Harden.
you gotta remember in the NBA they got the star player rule where
Yeah,
basically if a
you
star
can't touch
player
the
does
rim.
something, it kind of has to happen.
But it's like with Harden is just so like it's like he's only like he's not even trying to go up anymore. Like for a layup or for a mid range, he's literally only trying to get into you so that he can
Yeah,
initiate contact.
but
Him and Shea, it's just ridiculous.
Shea got it from Harden, and Shea's going to be the master of it. Shea is the master of drawing contact. They're going to change the rules
Yeah,
because literally all Shea does is come down and draw contact and get a bunch of free throws all game. It's genius.
but I
They're
think
going to win
Shea's
the
a bit
championship
different.
again because of it.
I think Shea's a bit different because he has a different body type. Shea has really long arms, so it takes
Yeah,
longer for him to bring the ball up when after
but
he makes his move. So
I gotta let you talk about it. I don't want to dissect too much. I've been watching college basketball. I haven't really been watching too much NBA, so I don't want to sit here and dissect too much and be wrong on stuff that I haven't been watching too bad. I haven't been watching NBA as closely as I used to, but I'm like when these conference finals start, I'm watching every game.
we can go to the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, what's up? I want to know who's in the finals on the West.
OKC and San Antonio. Who you got
Um,
winning that series?
how bad? How bad did the Timberwolves lose?
I think it was 6 games. Let me check. I've been locked in on the Pistons series. So because I wanted to be vindicated for my prediction before the season.
So you got the Pistons in Game 7. Game 7's tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they won in
Yeah.
6.
Okay, so Timberwolves didn't do too bad. Everybody knows Ant-Man's a great player on that team. I think Rudy Gobert slept on. Remember he was a great player in Utah. I think like I said, I haven't been watching too much, but what I have been seeing, and from obviously seeing how deep they got in the playoffs, the Timberwolves are going to be around. They
Thing
got to
with
figure out something to get over the hump.
thing with Rudy for me is that I mean he's been in the league over a decade and hasn't added anything to his game.
That's why I'm like he maybe what gets a team over to the hump with Rudy Gobert on it is Rudy Gobert doing something to elevate his game. But like you just said, he's been in the league a decade. I don't think there is no elevating his game. I think he's the greatest at what he does, and that's what he does.
I think if he would just get like a hook, I mean, he's already shooting pretty a high percentage from the field, but if he just had a go-to move on offense, and I mean, he's 7'1", long ass arm, long gangly arms, he could do a hook shot. He could master
Right.
the sky hook. I don't know why he doesn't just go to Kareem and ask Kareem what does he do. There's a lot of these big guys that don't try to add anything to their game now, and it's it's just like the center position is just completely evaporating. Like it's just
Yeah,
only thing
they don't play that kind of basketball anymore.
yeah,
But
all
in
the
the
centers are
playoffs, as you
6'8",
can see, it's needed.
yeah, all they do is they're 6'8" and they run and dunk the ball, and on the other side they just play defense. They switch.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're 7'1", you have a major size advantage on a lot of these guys. Just at a certain point, and then like even though Rudy Gobert is 7'1", I mean he's still like he's posting up against 6'2" guys and still not making his shots over them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only way he can score efficiently is if he just catches the ball and he's open, or he like makes a move to get open, or it's like a lob or something. But he's not like, able to, work in the post like Embiid, and he's not able to like initiate offense from top to key like Jokic. He doesn't have a face-up game. He doesn't have a post game. He doesn't have a mid post game like Duncan. He doesn't have a floater. He doesn't have a hook shot. He does nothing.
He doesn't have an offensive game. Rudy Gobert has no offensive game. What you get from Rudy Gobert is he gets a rebound, and you're lucky if he gets a putback.
Yeah, I mean, but he would be Hakeem Olajuwon if he would just, you know what I mean, just get one thing to add to his game. But I think a lot of these guys do go to like the Hakeem camp and the Kareem camp, and then they just don't learn anything, or they learn something but can't implement it.
Yeah.
So, but I think, you know who I think could benefit from going to the Hakeem camp?
Wimby.
He already went.
Yeah, and you can see it, right?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I think Duran needs to go.
Who?
Because Jalen Duran on my team.
I should have known it was a Detroit player.
He's already an undersized big, just like Hakeem was. So, I mean, if he got a little up and under going, then he would be unstoppable. He's already cooking all the other bigs, stronger than all the other
Home Green on OKC needs to go too.
Because he keeps trying to be a 3.
Yeah, but he needs to do a little bit of everything. He could be a poor man's Wimby, like how Chandler Parsons was, you know, a poor man's like Gallinari and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't really think that will work in OKC's offense though. But
the thing with OKC is all of those players are good. When their contracts are up, it's going to be like when they had James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook. They're going to choose some to pay, and then if some of them are going to stay to keep winning championships, but most of them are going to go to wherever they are going to make millions. And while you're on that team looking good, you're going to get millions, and then obviously you know how it goes. They'll go to a team that's terrible and be the number one option and won't be as sweet as they used to look, but some of them might be all right.
Or they'll go to Las Vegas or Seattle when the expansion.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to ask you about that. So a couple months ago, the NBA agreed to expansion.
Yeah.
2 more teams in 2028. How you feel about that?
I think it should happen. I think it'll be cool. I do think with the state of the economy, I don't know if it would really happen, but I'm all for it.
I think they should have added 4 teams.
They should add 4 more teams? That's crazy.
I'm pro expansion, dude. Like, I think there's so many guys just wasting away in the G League that would have the perfect opportunity.
The G League?
Yes. I think we need to add those 4 teams and just get rid of the G League.
But then you're saying that, but look how many teams were tanking this year.
Yeah.
So where is all this wasted potential if all of these teams thinking that the guys they have aren't good enough to compete?
I'm pro tanking, bro. Because I think tanking is actually good for the league. Because you got to remember, a lot of these teams, most people don't have $600 to go sit courtside at an NBA game,
right?
Or $300 in like an expensive city. So if a team is tanking and the ticket prices are really low, then people can get interested in the sport at a lower price point.
So you like tanking because it's good for the fans because they get to go see bad basketball for cheap. But what does tanking do for the actual sport? Right, but you're talking about the fans. But what about the sport? Tanking for the sport is terrible.
The sport wouldn't be any different. It would be the good teams being good and the bad teams being bad. It would just be more
teams. But these teams aren't even competing. They're sitting their best players on purpose.
There's teams now that aren't competing.
Right, but I don't know. You could call me old school, but I feel like you should play hard until the last whistle.
What would you do that for? Because if you do that, you're playing yourself out of the draft lottery.
Right, and that's why I don't like the incentive of having the worst record means you get the first pick, because that's exactly what it means. You should play hard, and then like the worst team in like whoever gets the first pick, if it's the worst team, they should legitimately be the worst team, and it shouldn't be because they suck so bad, but it would be a
So they
team
did
that
that.
probably had
They
a bad
flattened
break with an injury.
the NBA did that. They flattened the odds. So basically, that means that the worst team has like the same chance to get a number one pick as like the bottom 4 or 5 teams. So that's why the
Yeah,
Wizards got the number one pick this year, and not the
right,
Pacers, who's the actual worst team in the league.
right.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I thought of a great trade, and I was talking about it at work, but no one agrees with me. I think the Wizards should trade Anthony Davis and maybe not that pick, but the next pick they got, whatever it may be, to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown.
Who would be their big?
Draft him. They
I
got
mean,
the
they
first
got
round
Star.
pick.
I don't know. Anthony Davis is an established product. Say what you want to about his injuries and stuff.
I
But
I
when he,
disagree with the notion about his injuries. Everyone says, "Oh, Anthony Davis is injury prone." Yeah, he's a big man in the NBA. They all are injury prone.
and my
Anthony
thing with
Davis is
AD,
one of the best players in the NBA.
they keep trying to fit a square peg in a round hole with him. He
Right.
does not have the frame to play the 5. He should
No,
not be trying to play the
exactly.
5. He should not
Anthony
be trying to
Davis
put
should
on.
not be playing center. He is a 4. And shit, if you got a big team, you can put him at the 3 for like 10 minutes.
They're playing him. They're making him put on all this weight to play the 5,
Right.
and that's why he keeps getting injured. If they,
Right.
I
Hopefully
mean,
the Wizards don't do that. Maybe
yeah.
they Wizards tell him to lean up and make him play at the 4. And like I said, at the 3 sometimes. I don't use Anthony Davis at the 3 on 2K because he doesn't have the skill set, but I put big guys who can stretch the floor at the 4. I put him at the 3 sometimes if I got multiples of them.
Yeah, if you to play at the 3 now, you have to be able to move laterally. AD can move laterally to get a block, but he's not like keeping up with a wing.
Yeah, especially not offensively, or he can't do the cuts and stuff. He is a big guy, but maybe if he leans up, especially since he's had so many injuries, maybe he leans up and changes his game a little bit. But he doesn't have a jump shot, right?
I mean, he kind of does. It comes and goes. But the thing with AD is that he's already north of 30. So
Right.
having him, usually when you get older, you go down a position. You go
Right.
from the 3 to the 4, the 4 to the 5. Like, look at guys like Paul Gasol when he was on the Spurs. He played the 5. You know what I
Right.
mean? Who else? Paul George is playing the 4 now. He played a 2. He was the 2 when
He
played
was a
in-
2 when he started. You're right. Yeah.
and now he's playing the 4 because he has the size for it, but and the skill set kind of in the modern era. But he even said, like, Paul George was quoted like back in the day saying, "Oh, I don't want to play the 4," because they were like, "Oh, you'd be much more effective at the 4. You can handle the ball."
Yeah, when he came in the league, Danny Granger played the 4 on his team.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I'm like, I don't know, because if he would have played the 4 in his prime, the teams he was on would have been way better. Because there's no 4 in the league keeping up with Paul George, and he has a size.
Yeah, but I don't know. You're talking about Paul George is kind of old. He played the
I'm
4
saying
at
in his prime.
Okay.
If he played the 4 in his prime, every team he would have won championships. Like if he was on OKC and played the 4, and Steven Adams at the 5 or Russ at the 1 running point, they would have won a championship. But he wanted to have the ball.
Yeah, maybe, but wasn't Carmelo Anthony playing the 4 on that team?
They shouldn't have got. Melo should have been coming off the bench at that point.
Yeah, but that team got into the playoffs, and like that team wasn't disappointing.
I think they were a 6 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In the West, that's impressive.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
It
Yeah.
is. I mean, is it though when you get Carmelo coming off his prime, Paul George in his prime, Russell Westbrook in his prime? Is that impressive?
I don't remember. Didn't like wasn't Russell Westbrook's backup point guard like Cameron Payne? I think they had like a terrible team other than them 3.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you got.
Didn't they have Steven Adams? I think Steven
Yeah.
Adams was it.
I mean, anytime you have a guy like Steven Adams, Like
You
he was
should.
willing to do all the dirty work. You had one of the best scorers of all time in Paul George. You had one of the best rebounding guards, playmaking guards, in Russell Westbrook. They should have done more than they did.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, and actually, the downstream effect of Paul George going to OKC, to the Clippers was that Clippers the Thunder got Shea, and then they got the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
Paul George kind of set them up.
Paul George set the Thunder up for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't make this a whole basketball podcast.
Yeah, I mean, and I can keep going, honestly. Who you got winning this Cavs versus Detroit series? The game
I got Detroit. I got Detroit pulling it over the Cavs. I want to see the Detroit versus the Knicks more than I want to see Cleveland versus the Knicks.
Yeah, I think Detroit would actually make it a series. We have a chip on our shoulder against the Knicks specifically because last year we took them to 6 games. That was like our first way to prove that we were, here. We weren't just, up and coming team. We are an established team.
Right.
And the refs sold the series.
Yeah,
So,
and then San Antonio versus OKC. I gotta be honest with you, bro. Dude, I hope I'm off like the days those games are on, or like the day after, so I can watch them, because oh my God, is that gonna be must see TV?
Wemby is gonna destroy Chet.
Yeah, but is SGA going to destroy the rest of the Spurs team?
If SGA is going to have to shoot jump shots.
But the thing with OKC is like we're going to talk about SGA and Chet because those are the 2 best players. But everyone else on OKC is sweet. OKC is a team filled with guys that would be 2s and 3s on any other team.
Starting, and they got those guys.
Yeah,
Caruso.
Right. OKC is ridiculous. Oh, Caruso started on the Lakers that won the championship. No, he came off the bench on that team.
No, he started.
He started for that team. Yeah. And he comes off the bench for OKC. Like, OKC has nothing but players on it. So, yes, Wemby is the best player in this series. Wemby's a future best player of all time if he doesn't get injured too much.
Jared McCain coming off the bench. And Jared McCain was top.
But OKC got players. I might have to figure out a way to record these games.
Jared McCain's okay on OKC.
Right, I know.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, Philly just traded him for nothing, and Jared McCain was a top draft pick and was running for Rookie of the Year before he tore his ACL. I think it was ACL or his Achilles or something.
Dude, I'm so excited for that game. And now for between Detroit and the Knicks, I'm just saying Detroit won because I don't think Cleveland got it in them. Unless Spider Mitchell just goes crazy. That's the only way Cleveland wins, if Spider Mitchell fucking goes Superman and Jared Allen puts up a double-double. That's it. I don't have no confidence in James Harden. I hope James Harden proves me wrong, but I think Detroit wins.
I mean, the reason they won those games, the reason they Cleveland won those games against us was because Donovan Mitchell kept touching the paint.
Yeah.
And he didn't score much in the first half, but he touched the paint and collapsed the defense and was getting into Strus, who I hope we get Strus in the offseason, dude. If we get Strus, we get Malik Beasley back, I wouldn't want to fuck with us next year. Because, I mean, we're already good and we don't even have good spacing. Imagine we get Malik Beasley, who shot the most threes off the bench in NBA history in the season last year, and we get Max Strus. Like, I wouldn't even try to go. They're talking about Lauri Markkanen and all these people. I'm like, all we need to do is just get 3 or 4 good shooters so that when K is playing, there's always at least two other shooters on the floor. I mean, we'll probably run the gamut. We'll probably win the next 3-4 years. Or at least be in like the conference finals.
I think in the West, the next couple of years, the teams to beat are OKC and San Antonio, and I think in the East, the teams to beat are going to be Boston and Detroit.
I don't know. I think Boston's gonna blow it up.
I don't think
But Jaylen
Boston's going to blow it up. I think
Jaylen Brown
Boston's having. Yes, I think they trade Jaylen Brown for someone like AD.
I don't think AD's gonna want to go.
AD plays for the Wizards. He ain't gonna win no championship with the Wizards. As much as I want to be optimistic about them and Trae Young, young players, and a number one pick, they're not winning no championship in the next 10 years.
I don't know, dude. The young players. Have you watched? Are you a Wizards fan?
I am a Wizards fan, and yeah, hopefully they can be like an OKC with all this young talent they're stacking up. But I don't think
George, Washington, like those guys are nice, and they can all
no, they are.
positions. They all can defend.
Dude, I watch almost every highlight.
Yeah, they're basically like how OKC was the first like couple years when Shea was like getting being a
so
baby
you notice I didn't say nothing about getting rid of Trae Young. I think we should keep Trae Young.
Yeah, Trae Young can be like y'all's. I mean, kind of like y'all's. Like Drew Holiday, like he was for that Pelican.
Nah, Trae Young. No, Drew Holiday is a great player. I don't think Trae Young is. I mean, I don't know the guy personally, but Trae. I don't think Trae Young could be like a Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
defensively,
Drew Holiday was the reason that Milwaukee and Boston won. I'm gonna be honest.
I know. I'm saying Drew Holiday's better than Trae Young. That's what I'm saying. In the sense in which you're talking about, I think Trae Young is good for scoring points and facilitating. Drew Holiday on the defensive side of the ball, I would want him. And then, yeah, he could get you 16 assists, but Drew Holiday wasn't getting you. He was getting you what, 11 points?
And I'm actually glad you said that because I'm glad that this platform we're establishing this. Two-way impact is way more important than just a guy putting up numbers. And people act like a guy's better just because he scores 30 or averages 30.
Oh, I'd take Drew Holiday over Trae Young any day. Prime Drew Holiday. I would take prime Drew Holiday over prime Trae Young. And I loved watching prime Trae Young. He was actually one of my favorite players to watch, but for winning basketball, you want Drew Holiday.
Yeah. I mean, back when they had John Collins and they made the conference finals that one year.
Oh yeah, Trae Young had his time. That's what I was like. I loved watching prime Trae Young, but
yeah, and I mean the thing that people the sad part about the current era that a lot of people don't already realize is that a lot of these teams have already had their run.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the window is short nowadays.
Yeah. People probably don't realize Giannis is out of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I mean, Dame came back to Portland, but that's basically a completely different team now.
Yeah.
They're on the up and up. Phoenix, I mean, Devin Booker needs to leave. Like he kind of has to. Like, what is he doing there? The Rockets.
He's just chasing the bag.
Yeah, the Rockets, they got 50-year-old KD on one leg. And I mean, he's gonna stay. I don't think KD comes back to the Rockets.
No, KD's out.
Yeah,
but so see, KD needs to go to a team where the team knows that KD is because KD fucked himself up with his younger teammates with his burner accounts and all of that shit, and then the locker room was fucked up because the Rockets was a talented team, and at the beginning of the year, the Rockets were a team everyone was talking about on paper was like supposed to be that team. Now Fred VanVleet did get hurt, but any team with Kevin Durant's supposed to be sweet, and but they all, what happened. They all he had the thing with the burner accounts like he does, and KD needs to figure it out.
I think the only way a lot of these other teams, like the ones that aren't the teams that we talked about, the Thunder, San Antonio, Detroit, and Boston, and I'm still wavering on Boston because I think they already kind of blew their team up. Because they got rid of Porzingis, they got rid of Holiday. I mean, they've already traded multiple pieces. The only core pieces they've kept are Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, and like the young guys. But then like all the major pieces they got rid of. So I think a lot of these teams, they're already done. Like, stick a fork in them. And the only way that the teams can be competitive again is if a bunch of the old guys go to Cancun one summer and agree to sign mid-level exceptions, and they
And go
all
to
go
one team. Yeah, you're right.
like they all
But
go to
all
Golden
of
State.
them.
Like
Right, exactly.
LeBron
It has
needs
to
to
be
go to
all of
Golden
them.
State. Kevin
Like
Durant
it's
needs to go.
yeah, it's LeBron, Kevin Durant, Draymond, Dame, Steph.
Yeah, and they
No
all
Clay.
need to
Clay
go.
stays out.
Basically, the 2016 All-Star team, they all need to
Right.
collaborate and go to one team, and they'll
And to
win.
be honest with you, I don't think they win.
I think they do.
I don't think they beat Wemby and the Spurs. I don't think they beat OKC.
I
Nope.
think they do.
Nope.
I also think
You're talking about Wemby and the Spurs or OKC, or if they make it to the finals, you're talking about Detroit or the Knicks having another year or two of experience too against those old guys. No, those teams are already better than them. And those guys are going to get older. Yeah, they'll get together and it'll be a happy joy season, farewell tour. All the old guys are back together and they'll play some good basketball. But at the end of the day, basketball is a young leg sport. And then you're going to have those high skilled teams and the young legs. Ain't no way. It sounds good on paper.
But I think in this realm, the disparity of like their athleticism and stuff is negligible when, or is negated when they have the skill. Because KD, I mean, you could put a Sar Thompson or a Min Thompson on him, and he's just
The only way this super team you're talking about works is like, so let's what is the starting five? Steph Curry, who's the two?
probably Dame.
All right, Steph Curry, Dame, KD, Draymond, and LeBron. That's the five?
Yeah.
You want to change? Is the bench young studs?
No.
Or are we gonna put some more veterans on the minimum on there?
I'm thinking like they all
Who you
go to
put? Is it gonna be people like Drew Holiday?
Drew Holiday, DeMar DeRozan, Russ, everybody just off the bench.
No, I don't think that team's gonna. I think that team's gonna be fun to watch because we're old. I don't think that team's gonna be competitive.
Yeah, but that's what I'm just kind of. That's kind of me just throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah, but no, I've seen that take. I've seen that take a couple of times where people are saying that Golden State should try to do that and get. They're talked about KD and LeBron and figuring out how to get like the summer of 2016 there. And I think LeBron and Steph should play together, and I think they will be great together. But I think their team around them together needs to be young, not their friends.
I don't know, man. I think if they're all on a team together, guys are gonna try harder. I mean, it's just osmosis. But also, I can see
I don't know. I think the Spurs will just mollywop them.
Yeah.
Off athleticism.
I don't think it'll be athleticism. It'll just literally be Wemby. That's Wemby is their defense. Like when he goes off the floor, their defense completely plummets.
Now I do. Now don't get me wrong. I don't want KD on that team. I do want LeBron and Steph to play with each other, but I also don't want LeBron to leave the Lakers.
You want LeBron and Steph to do what?
I want LeBron and Steph to be on the same team.
Also, is the Kool-Aid Man's tears like nut cum? Did he?
Oh god! All right, so let's move on to the next topic.
we did it almost an hour of basketball. Is Joe not coming back?
I guess not. I'm not even gonna ask him. No. Whatever. Drake dropped 3 albums. How much you listen to? I listened to all of Maid of Honor. I listened to about half of Iceman, and I listened to like 3 or 4 songs off of Habibi. And
Yeah, you
yeah,
listen to the wrong stuff. So I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say it won't that good because of what you
no, I
listen to.
actually really like Maid of Honor because I've been saying this for
Okay.
years. We need to bring back electro, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you know what electro is.
But Drake does that. Drake had a whole what was that one album that was basically electro?
It wasn't electro though. It was more like hyper pop. You're
Oh,
talking about
I ain't even listened to it.
the one with Jimmy Cooks on it.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I think it's honestly never mind. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I wouldn't classify that as electro. I feel like what he did on Maid of Honor was had more of an electro feel. And for people that don't know, that are watching this on playback because we have 0 viewers, uh, electro is a post disco genre that basically helped to birth rap because the beats were very simple, very iterative. The melodies are very simple, and they have like certain elements like a lot. There's a lot of crashes. It sounds like very sci-fi techy, like futuristic, kind of like futuristic pop. Basically, it was part of this wave called post disco, where people thought disco was lame because it was from a previous era, so they tried to make something new. And electro is like kind of the bridge between disco and hip hop. So, brief history lesson on that. And I think Drake actually tapped really well into that like electro aesthetic. I think it would serve him to go back to that in future projects because it lends to his voice a lot better than some of the other songs he tried. And that's all I'm gonna say. But the entire body of work, because I'm counting all 3 projects as one, I'm gonna give it like a 5.
Whoa. It's because you ain't listened to everything.
Yeah, and I'm doing it from that perspective, but I actually really liked Maid of Honor. If I was to rate him individually, out of 10, Maid of Honor would be a 7, like 7.5. What I've heard of Iceman would be like a 5, and
Huh?
Habibi would be like a 4 or 5.
Oh my God. All right. I
So what have
listened
you
to all
listened
of
to?
it at the gym for the last couple of days. Iceman is fire.
What's your
Iceman is
favorite
fire.
song?
Iceman is new classic Drake. I'm bumping Iceman all summer. It got songs on it. Iceman is it.
My thing with the
Um,
people hating on Drake though, like I can say, I wasn't super wowed by the project, but people are getting egregious with the takes. Like they're saying Drake was never good. Like it's just a bunch, and it's like Drake literally he basically took over the rap game for a decade, made great songs, ruled every summer. Everybody was bumping the songs, even especially the people saying they hate Drake now. He loses one rap beef and people just completely switch up. I hate that. I hate that everything is so here one day, gone the next. Like
it's because people are fake, and look like, and that's just for people to be real. Because like I'm saying here, I said before, and I say it now. After I ain't never really been into Kendrick Lamar. Now, when Kendrick Lamar was having that run, like yeah, he had some nice songs, but you know, I ain't bumping no Kendrick Lamar. But like I just said, Iceman, I'm bumping this shit all summer. That album is where it's at. It's got like 1 or 2 skips on it, but they only skips if you're not in the mood for that. Maid of Honor, if you in the mood for that, fire. Habibi is very experimental. I think Drake is just playing around. I think that is for a niche Drake audience, and
but
that's
yeah,
that
Maid
with
of Honor
that.
was like the club banger. Iceman was, from what I heard, a little bit more of a serious, like, that was like supposed to be the core songs. And then Habibi just, seemed like you said, the kind of throwaway, what would have been throwaways or like stuff that he put on the deluxe edition. So, and I'm
Yeah,
also wondering,
I think Habibi's for a niche Drake audience, like
I'm also
because
wondering how that.
with Drake is an artist, like he makes so many different type of songs. So like I like the hard rapping Drake where Drake's pretending he's gangster. You like singing Drake when he's being experimental and stuff. But then there's like the Drake where he's got that song where he's just singing for 10 minutes and doing those vocal cords that was on Her Lost, where I like the beginning part with 21 Savage, but skip that part. Drake got a lot going on. So I
My,
think he tried to get all his fans something, and that's what he did.
one question I have, and I'm positing it to you, is like more of a business question. So you've seen a lot of these artists recently. They've been releasing deluxe editions and remixes and all these other things to albums so they can get more streams. I mean, that's the name of the game now. How do you think this will work? It being like basically a 3-part release. You think he'll do deluxe for each project? Do you think he'll? Because how would you assign that? Because I get that like each project kind of has its own feel. So I guess I'm kind of asking like, what do you think his next move is?
Do you think he's going to do deluxe?
I would think so.
If he does deluxe, I think he will only do deluxe on Iceman. I don't think he would do deluxe on the other two. But since he just did 3 projects, to be honest, instead of doing deluxe, I think he lets these play. And if instead of doing deluxe, I think he would just release a 4th with like 4 songs on it.
Either that, because he has done that before. Because he did that like 2. He likes to do 2-packs where he just releases like 2 songs, like
Right.
basically an extended like an extended single.
Right.
But, I think it would be better if he gets a nice single from one of these 3 albums and just promotes the hell out of it. Kind of like how he did with God's Plan. Remember God's Plan?
I think he releases these 3, and I think he just lets it ride. I think there is some songs on Iceman that are going to hit the radio after the Epstein people stop playing with him, or whoever he pissed off. I do think some songs on Iceman, if multiple songs possibly will hit the radio. Like I said, I think his fans, like real Drake listeners, and Drake got a cult audience that been in Hotton because of the beef. Real Drake listeners are going to listen. And it's going to be that thing where I'm playing a song and you're chilling with me and you hear it and you go, "Ooh, what is that?" And it's that new Drake. And then you'll listen to it. I think that's why he did so much music. I think he did this shit on purpose. I did. You remember? Was I with you? We were at a bar one time and I got to arguing with a bunch of people because I told them that Drake is going to be the greatest rapper of all time. I was like, he's not there yet, but he will be.
I mean, what makes him not?
That's why I was going to say I still stand by that. I was like, if he's not already the greatest rapper of all time, he definitely will be, especially once he gets out of this funk, because he's gonna get out of it. He just need another Hotline Bling.
I wish Joe was here because he's a Drake hater, but it's like,
oh yeah, I would love to hear his take.
Yeah, because it's just like I don't really understand. To me, it's like the LeBron thing, because LeBron's been so good for so long that people kind of just hate him for that. And I feel like it's a similar thing with Drake, but it's almost compounded in a way because his persona has to be so public facing because he's a performer. Like LeBron is an athlete. If he chooses to, he can never go into the public eye outside of basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's already a billionaire. He can just go play basketball one more season, retire, and then just go golf for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he could.
Actors, singers, people like that, they can't do that. They live their life in the limelight. And all of Drake's controversies have been wrapped up in his persona, and people say they don't like his music because they don't like his persona. And I just think that's so, like you said before, it's fake. It's like people are like fair weather fans. And then I really feel like it was just like exacerbated after this Kendrick beef, because now, oh, well, since you lost, I don't like you anymore.
Well, I'm about to say you're probably going to disagree with, but it happened years ago. And I'm probably fucked up for bringing this up, but it made me realize that people are kind of fair weather fans. You remember when Paul Walker died?
Yep.
I was in high school at the time, and at the
Same.
high school I went to, we all saw Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, but I swear to God, ain't none of us seen any of the other ones. Ain't none of us knew who he was. But because the girls were crying because Paul Walker died, and the girls were crying because Paul Walker died because it was all on the news, and we had laptops at this time, but we were still kind of new to it, showing my age a little bit. The girls are crying. Now all of a sudden the whole school is sad because Paul Walker died, and all of a sudden we all love Fast and Furious. Now I wasn't being fake. I knew damn well ain't none of us watched none of it except Tokyo Drift because I went to school with a bunch of black kids. And
Yep.
I don't know, you know the same way. We all seen Tokyo Drift. We ain't seen none of the other ones.
Yep. It's the Michael Jackson effect. Like,
But
I
when
mean, when I,
Paul Walker died, all of a sudden he was the greatest actor of all time. I couldn't tell you what the fuck he was in.
same thing with Michael Jackson. Because I was born in '98. By that point, the last album Michael Jackson made was Invincible. So by the time I gained consciousness, the only thing people was talking about in relation to Michael Jackson was the fact that, or not fact, the the accusations against him, the child predator stuff. That's all I remember about Michael Jackson up until he died. But then the moment he died, everybody was acting like they was these super fans.
Yeah, you're right. They did it with Michael Jackson too. Growing up, Michael Jackson was like public enemy number one, but when he died, all of a sudden, you're not alone. And now he's making a comeback, which he deserves as an artist. And now that we know the truth, that he didn't even do any of those accusations, people should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
But R.I.P. Michael. I haven't seen the movie, but this is a great segue. Have you seen the movie?
Well, I gotta say one more thing about the Fairweather fan thing. A lot of people did the same thing with Kobe. Because
You right. You so right.
now people doing all-time lists, and Kobe is apparently in everybody's top 5.
You so right. When Kobe was alive, everyone was like, "Oh, he's a rapist," and I don't even know what happened. I remember that they settled out of court or something, and everyone did that. But
I think he did it.
I don't know the details. That all happened when I was too young, and I never actually did the research. But to what we're talking about, when Kobe was alive, he was public enemy number one. But as soon as he died, it was like it's always been R.I.P. Kobe. And I fuck with Kobe, you know that. But like I said, all of that happened way too young, and I haven't done my research. And I'm just going off of what he was, the basketball.
I didn't like Kobe as a basketball player because I started watching basketball when the Pistons won in 2004.
Oh yeah, well he's public enemy number one to us when we were watching basketball because he was always beating our teams.
And he didn't beat my team that year, but regardless, I'm just saying he didn't. We won that year. That was when I started watching. We won. That's what I'm talking about. But I don't know, because after that, and Shaq left and went to the Heat, Kobe was just doing whatever. Like when I would turn on the Lakers game, I mean, he would shoot with 3-4 people on him. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I gotta be honest with you. Growing up, I never really got it with Kobe either. But when he died, it kind of was just like, oh yeah, Kobe's the best. And then with LeBron going to the Lakers, and I'm a huge LeBron fan, and I've just kind of been like, oh yeah. And so I'm cool with Kobe.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, and Kobe was doing that,
I like playing against him on 2K instead of playing with him, though. I'm one of those Kobe fans.
Pause. You
I like playing against him instead of playing with him on 2K.
Okay. That's what you meant. But yeah, I mean, because you got to imagine, the year after I started watching basketball, he was doing that. But, in hindsight, he had Kwame Brown and Smush Parker on his team and Shannon Brown. So it was who was he going to pass the ball to? But
for sure, nigga.
At a certain point, you need to pass the ball, bro.
And then remember one year he had Dwight Howard and Steve Nash on his team.
They were still ass. They were ass. And I'm like, I mean, I get he won the championships with Powell. That was cool. But how do you get Dwight Howard and Steve Nash and you're still ass?
I think they like were all hurt that year,
We were
weren't
all
it?
hurt, yeah, but it's still just
Was it like Karl Malone on that team too? Or he was
No,
on
he
one
was
of the
on
teams.
early 2000s. And then that's also another thing with Kobe. Like, you had literally one of the best players ever, Shaq, on your team. And Kobe was a surgeon. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why
Hey,
I
we
would never,
turned this back into a basketball
yeah,
podcast.
that's why I would never put Kobe in the top 5 because it's just like you got too many things going against you. You had one of the best centers of all time on your team. As soon as he left, you just started doing you just started playing dumb ball. Like you was just shooting anything, like looking like a dumb fuck. And then
Hey, bro, don't disrespect Kobe, bro.
I'm not disrespecting, but come on now. You saw those years just like I did. And that's
Yeah, I
basically
never got the appeal of him. I only just the legacy and what I've been told. I've always been a LeBron guy. I've been an
yeah, me
Allen
too.
Iverson guy. I saw Allen Iverson winning. I didn't see Kobe Bryant winning.
And you just gotta imagine, like, because that was how I was introduced to basketball. Seeing Kobe shoot over 2 people.
When? I don't remember that. You saw that?
Yeah, he was doing basically from 05 when Shaq left to like 07. That was all he was doing until he got.
I was
Power.
watching Wizards games, dude. I was watching Gilbert Arenas cook people.
Yeah, I was watching Lakers on TV. You know, hate watching because fuck them. They played against my Pistons.
I watched a lot of Miami Heat games too. I guess that's just what I got.
Yeah, but we did have a great segue, but I decided to bring it back to basketball. The Michael
It's
Jackson,
cool.
they released a biopic, Universal, in Michael Jackson's estate. They have released a biopic, aptly named Michael. It
Sequel name is the sequel going to be named Jackson?
I think that's the plan.
That's so.
It basically covers Michael Jackson's life from when he was a child in the Jackson 5 up until the release of his album Bad in 1988.
What's the third movie going to be called? Michael Jackson. I don't know.
I think there's just 2. But I mean, the man lived 50 years and he started performing at 5. So I don't
True.
think
No, Michael Jackson's a goat. I was making more fun of the people who made the movie, not Michael Jackson.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna cover everything. People are talking about the accusations, but I'm like, they weren't proven true in the court of law, first of all. Second of all, if you're making a biopic about somebody, I mean, you can, and the people who are in charge of his estate are in charge of it. They're gonna omit stuff. They're not gonna put
blanket.
Yeah, they're not gonna put
no blanket. No. Okay, I'm sorry.
They aren't, because for one, there's too much stuff to put in there.
Yeah, no, that's why they have to make 2 movies.
Because you gotta stick it all in there.
Yeah, at one time.
Yeah, it's too much. He lived 50 years, and like I said before, so that's basically 45 years of material to cover. There's so many different stories, and he spent almost all of that time in the public eye.
Yeah, he sure did.
So there's stuff that happened that we'll probably never know that would be its own movie.
So have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
So overall, what you think? Good movie? No, yes. I mean, Michael Jackson Mania is back. I think it was good from like a fan perspective, huh?
Would you? Can I spoil it?
Yeah.
All right. So, spoiler warning for anybody watching the video. Click away if you know.
Don't click away. You better listen to the spoiler. You better give us our 1 view.
Well, these will probably come later. But
whoa.
there's not really anything to spoil.
They're going to do what later?
Huh?
What are they going to do later?
They can watch it later. But there's not really much to spoil because everything is publicly available information. I mean, we all know Joe Jackson was beating that ass. I mean, in the movie they wasn't showing him really getting beat. Because I mean, we late millennial, early Gen Zs, we got that belt.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was like, I mean, they showed him getting whooped like 2
I
times.
used to get whooped.
Yeah, they showed him getting whooped twice. I used to get whooped with anything within arm's reach.
Yeah, I used to get
And
whipped. I agree that in some situations, I was watching a Dr. Umar podcast, and he was saying how in today's generation, there are some situations where a child does need to be spanked to teach them the lesson. And it's like if they do something that puts themselves or people they love in danger, like putting them in, like a 5-year-old playing with an open flame on the stove, putting him in
or
timeout for that
running
won't
into the
teach him the
street.
fucking lesson. And I
Yeah,
was like, yo, I agree.
yeah, because if you run into the street, a car is gonna
Right.
hurt
Or
a
running
lot more.
into the street and he's fucking, at
Yeah, a
that
car is
age,
gonna hurt a
like,
lot more than a belt or your hand.
yeah.
I mean, I get it. I don't do that with my kids because
Oh, yeah, you're a dad. So, well, that's another episode where we can't keep veering off the path.
CPS. I'm a gentle parent, but uh, the kid sometimes kids need to be whooped. I'm gonna just say that, especially if it's like at an age where they should already know what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
Like if they're like 5 or
I
6
totally agree. Right.
and they run out into the middle of the street after all right, we look both ways before we cross the street. Don't run out to the middle of the street. Don't talk to strangers.
Right.
All this
Exactly. That's a perfect example. Exactly.
stuff. So if they go and do it, then I mean, life is the hardest teacher. So if they go out and do it and something happens, then that's worse than getting corporal punishment to me. Because
Yeah.
if you do the corporal punishment, then you give them a percentage of what would have happened if you had not intervened. If you didn't get them before they got hit by a car, if you didn't turn off the stove before they lit the house on fire, whatever they were doing would have hurt way more than what you did.
Right. Hey, can you give me 1 second?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll keep talking about the Michael movie. So yeah, they didn't really show much in the vein of Joseph's abuse, which I think was one part of like the time constraint, because I mean you can only tell so much about the younger years when other movies have already done that, like Jackson 5 The American Dream, but they mainly focused on the thriller and off the wall era, which I think they kind of did a bit of a disservice to Michael because they focused on it a lot in the first act of the film, but they also kind of joined those two eras together, which I mean, you can make a movie literally just about how he met Quincy Jones on the set of The Wiz, and they made The Wiz together, and they were like, "Oh, let's go. We need to do an album." And that whole scenario, like they completely cut out the fact that he did The Wiz. The Wiz was a cultural nexus event for black people in the 70s, and they just completely omitted it from the movie. That's what I mean. Like there was just so much that they could have put in there that they couldn't because of the time constraint. Like you only get 2 hours to make a film, so your stuff is going to get cut. There's always going to be like I'm doing a musical right now, and I had to cut literally like probably 8 or 9 scenes from it. So I get that part of it, but it's like I don't know. I feel like you're kind of sabotaging the narrative because you really could have just focused on Off the Wall and Thriller.
They could have split it into 3 movies, did like Jackson 5 era and like into The Wiz and stuff, and then the second movie would have been Off the Wall, into Thriller, into Bad. That would have been the big blockbuster one, and then the third one would have been after Invincible, Accusations, into Death.
See, my thing is I don't think they should
And
have.
you still would have missed a lot of shit.
I still think they should have not done the kid stuff because there's already a movie called The Jackson 5: The American Dream that covers his entire childhood up until 1992.
I know I've seen that, but they wanted to make their own.
Yeah, but I think if you're focusing on Michael, I get that you have to kind of tell the story of him as a kid, but you really should just start when he broke away from his brothers. Because
Yeah,
that tells his story a little bit better.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
But
right. I like to see it just as a story because, like you said, it's just so much to cover, and you got to fit it into the time
yeah, and
restraints.
I mean, there's
And
a way
it's
to
like
do
the only
it.
reason we know this stuff is because we know this stuff. If we didn't know any of it, we wouldn't know we didn't know it.
There's a lot of stuff that I didn't know going into the movie that I was really surprised about. Like, apparently, he was living in his parents' house while he was making Off the Wall and Thriller, and he was still part of the Jackson 5, touring with the Jackson 5 while Thriller was doing numbers. He didn't
Yeah,
break away. He
he never
didn't
did
do
a
that.
Thriller tour because he was on tour with the Jackson 5.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that's good to know that, like, now. But then, like, I also looked at it and look, I'm gonna be honest, the movie kind of made him look weak. Like, he was strong with everybody else outside of the home, but the moment Joe would look at him and tell him what to do, he would fold. And it was like, come on, Mike, you don't know who you really are yet. Like, you're the guy. You're the
yeah,
draw. Like,
yeah,
and like, why are you scared? You're 20, like
yeah.
20, 22, 23, like, and you're a millionaire at this point. Why are you so scared of your father? Like, oh my God, I want to jump through the screen and be like, Michael, just leave.
Sounds like they did their job then in the movie. It
Yeah,
sounds like it was a
yeah,
good movie. It
I
gets you
think so.
emotional like that.
I think it was a great movie because I could see myself a lot in Mike. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I told you about my performance background. I started in a gospel group when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I got a
Yeah.
very young start, doing music, making music in a professional setting. You know what I'm saying? I toured, did everything like that. And I found out a lot about Michael Jackson's production style, and it mirrors what I do a lot because he would hum the melodies for a lot of the songs too, and just go to the studio and have them play it for him because he couldn't play instruments. So,
Right.
like, I see a lot of parallels between me and Mike, but it's just so, like, anytime I see something like that, I kind of see myself because, I mean, I told you about this too. When I was about Michael's age, like 22, COVID hit.
Yep.
So
This is
I
true.
wanted to be secure. Like, I feel like Michael wanted to be secure. So he stayed home where he knew the people, like, weren't going to try to take advantage of him. And it was a similar
Right.
thing for me because when COVID hit, like, I could have moved to Atlanta, I could have moved to New York, I could have moved to LA, but I wanted to come home where I knew there was security
Right.
because I felt like I was going to be lost out there. I felt like because of COVID, I wasn't going to have any opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just like, that's what I mean. Like, there's so many parts of my personal life, specifically because I grew up doing performing arts, that I align a lot with Michael on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I actually
That's
cried
good.
when
Did
we
you?
watched. Yeah, because when he specifically the moment where he performed on the Victory Tour, his last performance, and then he told everybody that he was breaking away from the group. That
Yeah.
it was their last performance. Yeah.
No.
And then you got to think about this too. Because the same thing happened with me too. So the album I did with that gospel group, they made it into a greatest hits version because there was a previous iteration of the group. And I won a Stellar Award for that greatest hits compilation they released in 2018. And the original group, they came out in 98, and then the group I was in came out in like 06. So you got to think about this. By the time Michael was in his mid-20s, he was already like a legacy act.
Yeah.
Like he was already like so like when people say oldies, like by the time the 80s rolled around, what he did in the 60s was considered oldies, and he wasn't even in his creative prime yet.
Yeah.
Isn't that
You're right.
ridiculous?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I feel the same way because, like I said before, when they release greatest hits and you're 20 and you want to have all these opportunities and you want to do all this new stuff, you feel like you're getting kind of pigeonholed by having that stuff come out. Like, oh, I'm just the guy, the front man of this group of my brothers, but I'm actually my own individual artist. It was the same thing with me. Like, I tell people I did gospel as a kid. They're like, oh, well, you must be very church going. You must not want to do secular music. You must have a certain, because when you hear people do gospel, they have a certain way they like sing and all that stuff that isn't always appealing on secular records. So people a lot of the times look you over because of
Right.
that. I feel like they did that a lot with Michael in the beginning too.
Yeah.
Because they even said, I read after I watched the movie that Quincy Jones, because he was a jazz musician, they didn't think that he could produce Michael's album.
Mm. No, Quincy Jones was a hit maker.
No, he wasn't. And I
Really?
also realized a lot of Michael's album, Michael did.
Yeah.
So like Quincy was a jazz musician. He was playing with he was a trumpet player. You know what I mean? Like he wrote arrangements. He did bossa nova. Like he wasn't like a record producer.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's almost a completely different thing. It'd be like it's like golf and hockey. They're both sports that require a stick with a wedge at the end of it, but the rest of the
They're
rules are
two
completely
different
different.
things. You're
Yeah.
right.
It's like somebody doing country and someone else doing heavy metal. They're both derivative of rock, but they're two different genres. It's the same thing. Michael Jackson was doing like for Off the Wall, he did disco, and then like for Thriller, it was like pop rock. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a bit different. But yeah, all in all, I say like people the critics gave the movie a 32 score. I guess because they felt like they should have embarrassed Michael and all this other stuff. I do think there were some parts of it that I didn't like the fact that they didn't have Janet Jackson in there. Like you can't really
Right.
tell the story of Michael Jackson without Janet Jackson because she was the second most famous Jackson.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they didn't have Randy in there either. And Randy was pretty successful in his own right. So to leave him out was kind of crazy too, I thought. So
Yeah.
and even though Randy came a bit later because he was younger, I still think they shouldn't have left him out.
So how did they like do scenes with them as kids without all the kids there?
Well, Randy and Janet hadn't been born when the original Jackson 5 run started.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
Randy was younger too.
Yeah, Michael was born in like 1959, and Randy was born in like 68, and Janet was born in like 69 or 70. So they're like I think they're almost like 10 years younger. Let me make sure. Are you going to go see the movie?
Yeah, I will eventually. Or maybe I'll see it when it comes to streaming. I will see the movie one day.
So, yeah, Michael and Janet were almost 10 years apart, and Randy was born in. You look up Randy Jackson, and the other one comes up from American Idol. He was born in
Who the
69.
fuck is he? He's not a Jackson 5?
No.
Well, who the fuck is he?
Randy Jackson. That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
I know.
That guy.
I know,
That's a
but
different guy.
what? I know, but like other than American Idol, what has he done?
He did American Idol. That was pretty big. Pause.
When was the other Randy Jackson born?
61. Oh, you mean the other? Oh, let's see. Sexually aroused. Maybe I should type in Jackson. 1956. So he's actually older than Randy Jackson. But this Randy is only look. Michael Jackson's brother Randy is only 3 years younger than him. For some reason, I thought he was way younger.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, are you gonna go see the movie? Did I ask you that already?
Yeah, I'm gonna see it.
Okay. Yeah, just
Hopefully by the next pod, I'll see it.
Okay. Yeah, bro, check it out. We can get your take on it. I'm gonna listen to the rest of the Drake albums, and
I'm gonna re-listen to the Drake albums, see if they grow on me more.
Yeah, I'm gonna force Joe to get back on the pod and be a Drake hater, the Drake hater he is. I just don't get why. It's like I don't get why people hate LeBron. I don't get why people hate Drake. I don't get why people hate Michael Jackson. Like
Or Tom Brady.
Or Tom. Like I get like not liking them, but still respecting the fact that they were great.
But then we like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan literally profits off of private prisons.
That's true. I mean, and I don't really like him as an individual because I feel like Michael Jordan should have been used his platform to help black people in some tangible way instead of hawking shoes that black people get killed over and not doing anything about it.
Right.
And funding Republican politicians. But that's a different story for a different pod.
Yeah.
I think we got a lot of content out of this with these 4 topics.
Dude, well, I guess we could talk about this when we're not recording.
Mm-hmm.
I got editing app I be using, and I was like, I could make hella shorts of like funny stuff we say and make like little clips and TikToks.
I don't think there was much funny stuff in this. I think we kind of were a little bit more like I did a lot of that.
Oh yeah,
kind of for sporadic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here's the thing.
On July 24th.
Oh, Dick Pound said that?
All right. We will see y'all next week.
See you next week.
Same time, same place.
Same time, same place. We'll figure out a way to link this to our social media so we'll have more than 0 viewers next time.
Yeah. I need to figure that out, honestly. I also need to pay this damn StreamYard subscription. But we're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on YouTube and we're on Twitch. We're on YouTube and Twitch. We're on YouTube and Twitch.
We have a Twitch channel now?
It's my Twitch channel.
Oh, bet we can just advertise that and get people to turn to that.
Yeah, I think do you have one?
I don't have a Twitch.
Oh, let me end the stream.
Bye.